God knows what we need, okay, first and foremost. He knows what we need. But sometimes he got to give you what you say you want to help you understand that ain't really what you want. That ain't what you need. Oftentimes, our heart wants one thing. Our brain is telling us that may or may not make sense. And our gut is being very honest with us about, girl, put that down. You don't need that. That ain't even for you. That ain't even got your name on it. Hi, I'm Dr. Tiff, your relationship transformation coach. I've spent the past 20 years working with high-achieving women just like you who are crushing it in every area of their lives, everywhere except their relationships. And look, I get it. Finding the one ain't easy, and relationships are hard. But you know what's even harder? Cycling through the bad ones, or worse, staying in relationships when you already know they're not a good fit. You want a relationship of ease, uncomplicated, someone to love you down, but instead you've been suffering through bad dates, sexual incompatibility, and someone who might be good for somebody, but not for you. And if we're really being honest, you know that deep down, the work that really needs to be done starts and ends with you. If you're done wasting time in dead-end relationships and sick of looking for, chasing after, or trying to convince somebody to be the one, and you're ready to become the one, then baby, you're in the right place. So prop your feet and let's clink glasses, because I'm giving you the tea and the tips to fix your relationships. Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to Fix Your Relationships podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Tiff. I'm so glad to have you with me today. It is a beautiful day in the A. And for those of you that don't know, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where I am based. And it is a beautiful day. And so I'm super excited to have you here with me, soaking up the beauty that is the fall, the autumn in Atlanta. Because you never know, fall, you never know what you're going to get. Some days it feels like summer. Some days it absolutely feels like fall. And some days we don't even know whether we're coming or going, honey. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, thugging it out with me. I appreciate it. All right. Before we get started today, though, have you guys joined the Facebook group? Tell the truth. Shame the devil. Have you joined the Facebook group? Don't say you have if you haven't, because you know I know. And I know you haven't. And so I need you to pause right now. Actually, you don't even have to pause. You can just swipe up, go to your browser, and type in fyrcommunity.com. F is in fix, Y is in your, R is in relationships, community.com, fyrcommunity.com. Go there, answer a few questions so we can make sure you're not a bot, and just join the group, okay? Y'all tune in here every week, and I'm telling you, you will have more access to me by joining the group. So I encourage you to go on over there, join the group, because, you know, here's the thing. One, the more the merrier, okay? I just want to see you over there. I want to get better acquainted with my people, and one of the ways to do that is to meet with you outside of the podcast. The podcast is a way for me to give you information, but I'm speaking one to many. I'm speaking to many of you at one time. I don't know how you feel about the information. If you have questions about the information, if you have answers to my questions about the information, we can discuss that over on Facebook. So get your little self on over to fyrcommunity.com and you will be directed to the Facebook page, and we can chat, honey. We can get things popping, and we can, you'll have early access to any of the programs, any of the services and things like that, over there. All right. So today I want to talk to you guys about what you should be doing before dating again. Many of you are, I have a very diverse clientele. Okay. Some of my clients are straight. Some are not so straight. Some are African American. Some are not. Some are female. Some are male. But in my programs are all female because that's what's up. But what I will say is some are dating. Some are in a relationship. Some are in situationships. Some are absolutely married. Some are married and feel very much single. Some are married and are acting like they single. Okay. So people are in very different stages. But today's episode, I want to talk to those of you who maybe aren't currently in a dating relationship, maybe thinking about putting your toe back in there, maybe just getting out of a relationship and wondering when would be the right time to start dating again. While I can't tell you individually when would be the best time for you in particular to start dating, I can share with you some things that maybe you want to do and explore prior to dating again. Okay. So I have a little list. I have 4 things on my little sheet of paper, but I left some room for the Holy Spirit. So if I leave the podcast today with more than 4, y'all know Jesus jumped in and whispered in my ear and said, tell the people this. Okay. But right now, what I have is 4. And that's where we're going with this. Okay. Number one of the things that you should, and this list is not in any sort of order either. So you just take it. Okay. Take it as it comes. All right. Number 1, you should be identifying patterns. You should look at your past relationships and determine if some of the things that you have been seeing in your relationships are recurring, whether that's in you or in the partners that you have had. If those things keep coming up from you, and particularly if those things that keep showing up in your relationships are things that you don't like, I hate to tell you, sis, but if something keeps coming up for you in a relationship, and it's coming up in each and every relationship, then you, friend, are the common denominator. And we got to do some work. We got to do some self-work. We got to do some self-inventory. We have to look inward to see what we're doing or not doing that is causing that thing to continually happen. Okay. So one of the things that I would encourage you to do is to identify patterns of a relationship, patterns that you have, things that you keep coming up with, things that people continuously say about you. I have a number of clients who say, who've told me that, well, my partners say that they can't get close to me, that I'm so hard to get along with, or I turn everything into an argument. Well, those things absolutely could be true. If so many people that don't know each other are saying that to you, and that might be something that you want to look at. So let's get honest, okay? And let's start identifying patterns. And the next thing after we finish identifying those patterns is take ownership, okay? Own it, okay? Own it. Doesn't mean it has to be you forever, but owning it is the first step. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this much, but my program, not my course, but the program that I'm building is called Become the One. You've heard me talk about Become the One, and becoming the one means that you are the one. You are the one that people are looking for. You are not looking for the one no more. You're not trying to change nobody into being the one. You are the one. But in order to become the one, the first step, the O in one, is all about ownership. See what I did there? All about ownership. And it means we have to really look inward. We have to really take stock. And in addition to identifying patterns, we need to start looking at our triggers. We need to look at our history. We need to look at our habits, how we grew up. We got to take a good history. I talked to you guys about that last week. We have to do a self-inventory and see what we bring to the table, what we should have left behind, what we had no business doing, mistakes that we've made. It's the only way that we're going to be ready for the type of relationship that we want to call in. We got to explore those things, and we have to own our stuff. That's the only way we're going to be able to address it. The third thing that I want to talk to you about, third thing you probably should do before starting to date again is focus on yourself. All of these are kind of building on each other. If you haven't noticed, we're identifying the patterns. We're owning our stuff after we start identifying some of those things. And we're taking the necessary time, number 3, to focus on ourselves. Okay? Focusing on your own growth and your own transformation. That's what we do over here at the Fix Your Relationships podcast. We can't change anyone else, but we can definitely change ourselves once we've identified what needs to change and we take ownership of those things. Okay? So focusing on you might look like going to see a therapist or a coach. Focusing on you might mean journaling a little bit more. Focusing on you might mean a little meditation, if you will, to just really get yourself centered and grounded. Focusing on you might mean upping your self-care routine beyond a bubble bath and getting your nails done, like really doing the things that you've been putting off. Focusing on yourself might mean getting my finances in order rather than just trying to find somebody to save me and pay all my bills. Focusing on me might mean looking for a better career, a better paying job that's going to fulfill me rather than hoping and wishing and praying that someone will come along and just gift me the desires of my heart. Focusing on me might mean finding out and exploring and getting honest and clear about what the true desires of my heart are, what I really want out of this life, what I really want out of a mate, and what I don't. Looking back at some of those past relationships and saying, hey, this is, you know what, I thought this is what I wanted and needed, but after being in this type of relationship over and over again, I'm pretty clear, don't want it, don't need it, okay? But you got to get clear with you. You got to focus on you in order to identify those things and then start making the changes. And you can do that with some support, again, with a therapist, journaling, coach. There are plenty of ways that you can start. If you don't know how to make those changes yourself, you can work with someone to get those changes started. And again, I know a very good coach, a very good relationship coach, and you do too. If you need help with going through some of these things and learning how to better focus on you, identifying patterns, owning your stuff, call your girl, okay? I'm right here. I'm say this every week. Support at drtiffanyhenry.com, or better yet, again, go over to the Facebook group. Here's the thing. People say that there are barriers to entry for certain things like therapy or, the types of treatment or coaching and the things that they want and need to improve their health, improve their relationships, improve their mental health, all of that. There are free resources, sis. This podcast is one of them. One of the reasons why I do this is because everybody can't afford my rate. And some people just need the information. And I know from my own experience, when I've needed something or wanted to learn something, I binge people's podcasts. Okay, I binge their YouTubes and I learned so much without having to pay for it. And so one of the ways that you can do that if you're interested is to listen to episodes of the podcast that are relevant to your situation. Binge those. You can also join the Facebook group, fyrcommunity.com. Over there, we're able to kind of talk back and forth. You can ask questions. I post every week a question of the week that's tied to the podcast where you're able to actually provide feedback regarding what we're talking about. So if this is something you want, look out, okay? Look out on the Facebook group because I'm telling you, I'm giving you the opportunity to ask me questions about these things so that I can get you some help for free, honey, okay? And then if you want to dig deeper, if you want to go further, then I can go in a free forum, then holler at your girl. Ask me about one-on-one coaching because I'm happy to provide you with that information. Okay. And as right now, as at the time of this recording, this is in October. At the time of this recording, I do have 4 slots open this month for one-on-one coaching. Okay. As of the recording, I have 4 slots available for one-on-one coaching. I cannot guarantee that those will be available. So you need to get on the good foot and go ahead and holler at me. Okay. All right. Praise the Lord. All right. And number 4, the 4th thing that you should do prior to dating again is determine the difference between what you want and what you need from a partner. Your wants might have been what you were looking for in the past, what you set out, the intention that you set out when you started dating before. What you need is what you recognize after that relationship is over. Let's say that again. Your wants are what you were looking for as you embarked on new relationships. Your needs are determined after those relationships are over. Sometimes your wants and needs are the same. Sometimes they are very different. Sometimes our wants help us to realize what we actually need. When God gives us what we say we want, God knows what we need, okay, first and foremost. He knows what we need. But sometimes he got to give you what you say you want to help you understand that ain't really what you want. That ain't what you need, okay? And so we have to heed those lessons, listen not only to our heart, but our head. And definitely listen to our gut because oftentimes our heart wants one thing. Our brain is telling us that may or may not make sense. And our gut is being very honest with us about, girl, put that down. You don't need that. That ain't even for you. That ain't even got your name on it. Okay? So understanding and determining the difference between what you want and what you need from a partner is super duper important. And you should be exploring that prior to starting dating again. Okay. Woo! I did this. It looks like maybe even under 15 minutes. So I am super proud of myself because y'all know I can get long-winded. So kudos to me today. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me, rocking with me, and listening to Fix Your Relationships. Again, I'm Dr. Tiff. There are so many ways that you can rock with me. Continue listening to the podcast. Please, please, please write a review if you haven't done so already. Over on Apple Podcasts, just scroll down, pull up the podcast on your little phone, scroll down to where it says write a review, leave me 5 stars, and then write a review. It helps so many people out, helps other people find the podcast, and it certainly helps me know that I'm on the right track and to continue to produce this type of content. So thank you in advance for submitting your review. All right. You can also join the Facebook group, FYRcommunity.com. You can also holler at your girl if you need one-on-one coaching. Again, I have a few slots left for October. They're whittling away, but I would love to have you in the number. Okay, want to count you in the numbers. All right, you guys have a great rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Ciao. Hey, babe, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. My goal with this podcast is to bless you with information that helps you fix those relationships that are most important to you, but not before you do the self-work needed to make sure that those relationships thrive. If this episode was exactly what you needed, then guess what? Somebody else probably needs it too. So do me and them a favor. Please share this episode with your good girlfriend and let her know about the podcast. And while you're at it, hop on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. This really helps to grow the podcast and puts it right in front of other women who are desperate to work on their relationships and themselves. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to join our community of like-minded women all on a journey to become the one. You can sign up for free at becometheone.myflowdesk.com/email. I know that's a lot, so just go on over to the show notes and click that link there. Thanks again for listening to Fix Your Relationships with Dr. Tiff. I'll see you right back here next week.